Just let me hear some of that rock and roll music. Any old way you choose it.
Hello, this is Katie with Vintage and Vinyl, and I'll be spinning some rockin' 50s records every week here on my channel, as well as sharing some cool Coca-Cola collectibles and other neat vintage finds. Stay tuned! Hey guys, this is Katie with Vintage and Vinyl, back with another great video for you today. In this video, I'm doing friend mail and I'm going to showcase my vintage hat collection. And I have a very neat story about how I started wearing hats and my super special family connection to this famous brown hat that I'm wearing right now. So let's go ahead and start with the friend mail. This was a really fun surprise. I'm so grateful that Abby over at Cosy Curated Cottage reached out to me and wanted to send me this special little box. I have been on the hunt for vintage starburst silverware, and if you don't know, that can get really expensive, and of course it matters about location because mid-century modern's really hot right now where I live in Florida. And if you go into the antique stores, a lot of the stuff is $100 a set, even if it just maybe has 4 or 5 pieces. It's crazy. So when Abby said, I have some and I'm just willing to send it to you, I was just thrilled because I have been looking and looking for this stuff. And she says she gets it for like 10 cents or something like that at the thrift store, which is amazing to me. So I was really excited when this box showed up. And I have already opened just the top part, but I haven't peeked inside, so I'm really excited to share this with you on camera. So Abby, thank you so much. You are so sweet. You guys don't have to send me anything, but of course I do enjoy opening some good friend mail, especially during these kind of uncertain times that we're all living in. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And by the way, I just want to say this box is packed very well. There is a nice layer of bubble wrap on top. So perfect. So I am excited to see what's inside. Oh, and it is wrapped just beautifully in this nice tissue paper here with the bubble wrap on top. And there's bubble wrap all around. It's very well done. And there is, oh, Abby, you sent me a little something extra. Oh, this is from Shinoa Leather Saddle Soap. Oh, I don't have this tin. This is fabulous. Look at that. Oh, Abby, you know me well because I love my vintage advertising tins, and I have been wanting a saddle soap tin. Oh, this is very cool. It is Shinoa Saddle Soap, made in USA, and there are no zip codes on this, so it has to be before 1963, and I can hear the saddle soap still inside. This is fabulous. Thank you, Abby, so much. And I love the string. I am a big fan of that simple brown paper packages tied up with string, so this is really fun. And you just did a great job on this. So this must be the silverware. And I am excited to get this because, like I said, I've been looking for it and I want to put this out at Christmas time and other special events when we're able to host people again. And of course, I will be using this myself during the day to kind of add a little pep to my meals. I just love starbursts. I don't know, I'm not a big mid-century modern person in my design in my house, but I love a good starburst. So these are fantastic. Let me get them all unwrapped. Oh man, this is like Christmas morning for me. So we've got, oh, a lot of spoons. Yeah, it is nice when you get silverware. And forks, lots of forks. That's fantastic. So let's see what we've got here. Oh my goodness, these are wonderful. And I believe she said they're in the Oneida mid-century, or by Oneida, and they've got the starburst design. Oh my word, these are just fabulous. Yes, Oneida, and it's stainless steel, so that's fantastic. So there's a lot of forks here, which I am glad about because I can actually use these. Let's see if this will show up. I'm going to put a piece of paper behind there so you can see that. Oh my word. And then we have these spoons with these starbursts, which I love a spoon. I use a lot of spoons in my house, so these are going to be really, really awesome. And then you have a couple of dessert or salad forks with these starbursts as well on them. Oh my goodness, these are fabulous. Thank you, Abby, so much for the special surprise. I am going to give these a good home, use them lots, and really, really enjoy them. So thank you for the special friend mail, and I will link Abby's channel down below so that you guys can go subscribe to her. Please go check her out. She has a fantabulous, if that's a word, channel, and also she's on Instagram with some great content. So I want to talk a little bit about the hats, and these hats you see me wear every video, and they're very special to me because my grandfather, my dad's father, who we called Papa, owned these hats. Not all of them, but a lot of the ones I've been wearing in my videos, and they're very special to me because he passed away at the beginning of the year, and he was just a fantastic grandfather, Papa. We all loved him. And I was so honored when my grandmother asked me if I wanted these hats. And of course I said yes. Now I don't remember seeing my grandfather, Papa, wear these very much, but they're very special to me because they were his, and I really enjoy wearing things that belong to different family members. And I started wearing these hats, particularly this brown hat here, and I just fell in love with it. It goes with everything, and it's very special, very neat connection to him. And when I'm wearing it, I really feel like he's with me. And he was a great man. He was a Baptist preacher. He was absolutely the most wonderful human on the planet. Very easygoing, very loving, but also would tell you exactly what he thought. And he was just so great. And he passed away at the beginning of this year, and I miss him every day. But I feel like when I wear these hats that I am connected to him. One of the great things is he always preached about heaven and the love of Christ, and he's now finally getting to meet Jesus face to face, which is just wonderful and beautiful to me, and I know where he is, and that is just fabulous. So Papa, we love you and we miss you, but I am enjoying wearing your hats, and they just bring so much joy to me every day. Thank you, Bibi, Papa's wife, my grandmother, for giving me these hats, and I am so enjoying them. So thank you. And I thought that I would show some pictures of Papa, and I hope you guys enjoy these. These are really neat photos that I had never seen before, and I never knew my great-grandparents that I know of. I'm sure I met them when I was little, but my dad's father's father, we called Papa B, and so I have one of his hats that he apparently always wore, and I am just loving wearing it today, and you see it in a lot of my videos, so I'll show that coming up. But this is Papa and Bibi when they were married. This is my grandmother, Bibi, and that's Papa, and that's Papa B. And of course you can see the rest of my great-grandparents there. I just love this photo. It is absolutely beautiful, and I enjoy getting to see my family all together in this photo. Now the next photo is one that I think is super special because it is them in a vintage car, and they had just gotten married and they're smooching away. I just love this. They would have been married, let's see, over 60 years, I believe, this year. So that is very wonderful. So there's Bibi and Papa. And then this is how I remember Papa. And when we were young, they took us on a Disney cruise. My dad and everybody went along, and this was very fun. So there's little me and Bibi and Papa and my brother Carson, and we are having a good time on the cruise. So that's a special photo to me because that's how I remember Papa. And the last photo I'd like to share with you is one of Papa and Bibi, and that's how I know them. Now, in this photo, Papa is wearing a very special watch. It is a Mickey watch, and I am going to be featuring that in another video, but I have that watch, and there's a really neat story and very special history to that, and I just so enjoy seeing it every day when I get dressed. So I'll show you that in a future video. But that is my Papa, and I am going to share the hats. Of course, you can tell that I have quarantine hair. I have not gotten my hair cut in 3 months. I have attempted to cut my own hair twice. It has worked fairly well. It's probably a little uneven, and I'm a little afraid when I go back into the barber to see what they have to say about my hair. But I have taken off all my hats so that I can show you them one by one. So these hats belonged mostly to my Papa, and then I have one that was Papa B's, my grandfather's father. And I don't really remember my Papa wearing these hats. I don't have any photos of him in the hat, but my dad says he's gonna look and see if they can find a photo of Papa B in the hat, and I'm about to show you, because apparently he did wear that hat a lot, which is very cool. But this first hat is a Trilby, and I will be telling you what different styles of hats they are as we go along. This is a Dobb's hat. Now, if you don't know anything about Dobb's, Dobb's is a fantastic company out of New York and 5th Avenue, and they started in 1908. Dobb's makes some of the best hats, in my opinion, and anytime I can pick up a vintage Dobb's for a good price, I certainly will, because they're wonderful. This was Papa's hat. It has the great little feather, and it also has this wonderful little added detail of a moose from Anchorage, Alaska. Now that pin's special because my grandfather, as I mentioned, was a preacher, and he has a connection to Anchorage, Alaska in his early days of seminary and pastoring, so that's pretty neat. And for the 50th wedding anniversary of my grandparents, Bibi and Papa, they took us on a cruise to Alaska to celebrate, so that is really special to me. And when I go out in public, people always stop me and ask me about this moose. They just love it. It brightens people's day, and it certainly does mine, and I love the little moose. So this is the famous hat that I always wear in the beginning of all of my videos, and of course most of the time when I'm on a live video, I like to honor Papa and wear his hats. And by the way, this hat goes with everything, so it is just fabulous. It fits well, it's comfortable, and I love the brown suede. This is fabulous. And if I didn't mention, this is a Trilby. Now you probably are thinking this is a fedora, but it's not. Trilbys actually have a very small band around the brim of the hat's very narrow. So you can see that here, it's not very wide, and fedoras are wider. So I'll show you a fedora in just a second. The next hat also belonged to Papa, and this is a Westport hat in the size large. Now most sizing is pretty standard with hats, so if you get your size, now this one's a large, but most of them come in specific sizes like 7 1/4 or 8. Once you know that size, it's typically almost the same in men's hats. So if you're looking to wear a men's hat, you can kind of find that size, and then it usually is very similar from brand to brand. But this hat fits me well, and this is not a fedora or a Trilby, but it's a Hamburg hat. Now Hamburgs have a more rounded kind of oval shape on the top with this bigger indent here. They don't have the point at the top like Trilbys or fedoras. And this was Papa's hat, as I mentioned. It's a wonderful wool hat, keeps you very warm in the winter, and I love that blue gray color there with a little bit of orange. This is just lovely. And again, vintage from, I don't know, probably not that old compared to this one, but I do love this hat as well. Now, the last hat that belonged to a family member, this is a Warwick hat made in England with a lovely silk lining, and it has this beautiful houndstooth pattern, which I love houndstooth. I am a sucker for it. I will pick it up in any kind of design because I think it's just beautiful. And this hat was Papa B's hat, so that would have been my grandfather's father, and I am still hoping to get a picture of him in this hat, but I think this is beautiful. The feathers, just a wonderful little design there. And Warwick hats were made in England, and they were named after the castles in England, and of course there is the very famous Warwick Castle. So this is a neat hat, and it is a 7 3/8. So I'll show you that there. That's usually the tag that you will see in vintage hats, is a tag like that, or other times it will be under the lip inside the hat. You can look for the sizes, but I am between a 7 3/8 and a 7 1/4 in men's hats, and I can usually wear both sizes. This is a fedora. It has a wider brim, and I will show you the brim is moldable, so you can wear it up or you can flip it down, and that's kind of the trademark of fedoras. Now this is also a crushable hat, and what that means is you can pinch the top and you can design kind of how you want the hat to sit and how you want it to look. So here's the difference between a trilby and a fedora in the brim. You can see there's a big difference there, but the hat top is pretty much the same with that point there. So these are the hats that belong to my grandfather and great-grandfather that I wear all the time, that are very special to me. And these hats really help me kind of delve into the world of hats, because I fell in love with these, wore them all the time, and decided I'm gonna look for some more vintage hats to also wear. So I got these other hats on eBay and other places, and you just kind of got to be careful when buying used hats that you don't get anything that's got, you know, damage or anything inside. But if they look clean, most likely they're fine, and I would say there's no problem wearing them. So this next hat was a steal of a deal, because it is a Stetson hat, and I believe that this is a trilby, but it could be a fedora because it does flip down. But Stetson's hats are really nice. They're like Dobbs. They're top of the line, and I got this for 14 bucks. Yes, that is a steal. This hat back in the day probably would have retailed around $75 to $100. And this is a navy blue suede hat. It is beautiful, and I love this hat. It goes with a lot. I love the little buckle and the feather. It is fabulous. This is the Sovereign line by Stetson. It has this really neat kind of candy cane looking design on the inside, all silk, very beautiful. And you have to, on this one, I believe, flip up the inside to see what the measurement is. So it would have retailed, oh well, back then I'm wrong, it would have retailed in 1950 for $30, but now it probably would have gone for more. There's a vintage price tag inside. I don't know if that will show up on camera, but there it is. And I don't see the size, but you can also measure a hat using a tape measure from here to here and from here to here, and that will give you kind of your hat measurement. So I was able to wear this very nicely. It fits me well. This is also crushable. You can decide how you want to wear it, and you can flip the brim down or up. So yes, I would say this is a fedora. It is a little bit wider brim, and it does move up and down. And if you're wondering about Stetson, Stetson was founded by John B. Stetson in 1865 during the gold rush. So Stetson's been around a little while. The next hat I'm going to show you is a kind of cream colored hat. This one is by Dobbs. I love my vintage Dobbs hats. And this is a fedora. It has the front that flips down, wide brim, very nice hat. And this is 7 1/8. So I said like 7 3/8, 7 1/8, 7 1/4, somewhere in there. I can always typically wear those size hats, and you can see the measurement there. It has the neat little bow, and the inside there, it does say Dobbs. Now I have worn the heck out of this hat, so it probably looks a little bit dirty inside, but when I got it, it was in very good condition. It has that beautiful feather, and it has the top. Here, again, you can kind of pinch it and mold it how you like it. So I love this Dobb's hat. Now, this next hat is by a company called Adam. And Adam, this is a black felt hat. And Adam was a company that was founded in 1924 by Elias Luswig. Now, these hats were made specifically for people on a budget. They were not the most expensive hats. They weren't as well made, but they were still very long lasting. And this hat has this beautiful feather. It came in the original hat box when I got it for, I believe I paid $12 for it. It had never been worn. This one's $7 1/4, if that will show up there. See the little tag on the inside? Well, let's see if that's going to show up, and you can see Adam hats there. And it does have a silk lining on the inside. Can you see that? And it is black. So this goes with a lot. It's very crushable here. Because see, I can mold it and pinch it how I want it. And this is a fedora. It flips down. It has the wider brim. And I can do however I want to do on however I'm feeling. So I love this Adam hat, and it is still in good quality despite the fact that it wasn't really made as well as maybe say a Stetson or a Dobb's. But I love, love, love this hat. Now this next hat is a Trilby, and this is made by the Knox company. It is the Hallmark series, and it has a beautiful silk lining. It has this gorgeous real animal hair on the side. Now I don't know whether you agree with that or not, but I did buy this vintage, so that's how it came. I believe this is horsehair. It has a pheasant, it looks like, on the outside. And does that show up there? A pheasant. And it has this gorgeous little pin with the Hallmark logo there, or Knox logo, and then the feather and this kind of brown braid. It is like a dark green, forest green is what I would say. It is a little bit moldable, so crushable on the top. It fits very well, and I just love this Trilby. The brim is short. You can see how short that brim is there, and this is a really fun colored hat, so I love the green. Now, Knox came out in Knox came out in 1838 by Charles Knox, and they were sold in NYC, and these are very nice hats. They have typically nice hats will have that silk lining, the leather band on the inside. You usually see the little bow, and it is a very nice either felt material. So it's silky smooth when you feel it, and it's very, very nice. Or suede. Suede, or like this nice, super nice felt. Now, the last hat that I'm going to share with you is a Hush Puppies hat. And again, I bought this online. This is a fedora. It's wider brimmed, and it has the crushable top here. And this has the most adorable little puppy dog on the side, the classic Hush Puppies logo with the feather there. And I believe, yeah, this was a medium hat. So when it comes to sizes where it's just medium or large, you kind of have to take a gamble. And this was $10. So for that, I was willing to take the gamble. I love the color. It's kind of this tweed brown, which goes with a lot. And it has the wonderful little Hush Puppies design on the inside. And Hush Puppies started in 1958. They also made the classic Hush Puppy shoe. So if you remember the shoe, you will also probably recognize the logo and recognize this hat as well. So this is a very fun hat, very lightweight, very nice for summer because it's really casual. I know it has the tweed design, but I think you could wear it in the summer as well. And it's just a nice hat. And this is a fedora because it has the wider brim. Now some fedoras will have very wide brims, like that stick out a lot, but some can be a little bit shorter. But you can see the difference between this and this brim size. This is Trilby, this is Fedora, and then you have your Hamburg hat. So here are the differences up close, so you guys can see that. So these are really fun hats. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this video and got a little bit of family history with the hats and learned why I wear them in every video, why they're special to me, and why I just generally love hats. I think they add, like I said, pizzazz to any outfit. They're fun to wear. You don't see a lot of people in vintage hats anymore, and I just love these. They are fantastic, and they're great to keep the sun out on a hot day, so you can't go wrong. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you all will stay tuned for future videos. Just don't forget that this week I have a new video in the mix. I will be doing story time with Katie. I will be reading the book Katie and Her Camera by Lewis Holbert, and I am going to be reading the second segment of that series. So please go enjoy that video, and I hope you guys will stay in, stay safe, and binge YouTube.
That's why I go for that rock and roll